What is up, Score fan? We are back today with another edition of Filthy Casual. Today we're going to be talking about a deck that has been so long since we've played relatively fair leaders, and today we're going to be going back in our time machine and revisiting a time in which the game was in a place where we were paying a lot of energy for battle cards, but now we're still going to find ways to cheat things into play, and we're going to be talking about World Martial Arts Tournament Goku in this video today. So there's a few things that happened that made this leader relevant, especially with Dropbox 5. Do you actually make the deck pretty competitive, especially when you combine the cards from World Martial Arts Tournament with the new cards, even some promos that came out a little while ago that no one even played. So first thing is, finally, World Martial Arts Tournament is relevant. Kinda. I mean, it is and it isn't. I do think this deck is actually a really strong hand destruction deck, especially for being a mono green deck. It's almost like a more active mid-range variant of Android 13 without having to take any of your life as a risk. So I think it's actually really cool about this deck. First things first, you get to play the announcer cards. So Ever Curious, which is going to be a tutor for all your other World Martial Arts Tournament cards, and then Play by Play Pro, which is just a card advantage engine, as well as it serves as 4 additional negates for your deck. So you can either use this to negate, or if you have 2 or more World Martial Arts Tournament cards in play, or in this card, you can draw 2 cards. So this is a really good way to be able to take some turns off and start accruing some card advantage. So Play by Play Pro has always been popular. It's been played in multiple engines, and I'm just really glad that we kind of get to shift back to playing that leader to be able to get that additional benefit of it being a negate. And then, of course, we have Trading Blow Son Goku, which this has always been one of my most favorite cards because it's just a really good way to help get the engine start of a hand destruction strategy. So just basic test, when you play this card, if your leader card is a World Tournament and your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, they choose 1 card in their hand and place it in the drop area. So this is just an easy way to play a 1-drop on turn 1 that taxes the opponent's resources. Really good if you're on the play, really good if you're on the draw, and then of course it gets even better as the game goes on when you're trying to keep your opponent's hand size limited. And then of course we have Kami Ethereal Technique, which is a promo. It's activate main for green. If your leader card is a World Tournament and you have 5 or more energy, choose 1 card in your life, place it in your drop area, then choose up to 1 Destined Conclusion hero from your deck, play it on top of this card, and then shuffle your deck. If you played a card, choose up to 1 Destined Conclusion Piccolo Jr. from your hand and play it. So this is kind of the end game when it comes to this deck when it's trying to finish the game with hand destruction. Being able to play all those cards for 4 energy on turn 5 is very important for this deck to be able to survive and end up closing out these games with such a powerful top end. The deck was originally playing Tau and TN, but it was just way too slow trying to get both those bodies on board. So we ended up switching the win condition to Kami into Conclusion Hero into Piccolo Jr. And then, of course, Series 9 and Dropbox 5 buffs. We ended up getting Seltzer Destroying Kamehameha and Android 18 Bionic Blitz. Both these cards are ways that help you keep your life total high, which is what you want to do, and then also help you mess with your opponent's hand defensively and offensively. So that's why we're playing those in the deck, of course. And then also we picked up Doomblade, Kakunsa, Beastly Maiden. It's just negate the attack, then play this card. When you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Very strong. Only works if you're a green leader. Just a really powerful card. And then Rebrand, Punishing Passion, green. If your leader card is green, you send this card from your drop area to a warp. Your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand and place them in the drop area. Just the reverse of the Instincts Goku. Perfect card for this strategy because you want to have just different energy sinks to keep the pressure on your opponent's hand. So that's why we're playing Rebrand in the deck as well. And so here's the actual full deck list. As you can see, our secret rare, we're playing Black Smoke Dragon, Eternal Evil, because why wouldn't we? It's just a great secret rare. Once you get 12 cards in the drop, you play this, then you have the option to either warp your opponent's field, mill your opponent for 7 cards and draw 2 cards, and then of course choose 4 cards in their hand and send them to their warp. We are playing the full 8 copies of Announcer, 4 Ever Curious, 4 Play by Play Pro, 4 Android 18. We're playing through Newfound Power, Son Gohan to help us self-awaken, 4 Shocking Death Ball, 4 Celt Kamehameha, 4 Rebrand, 4 Kakunsa. We're playing 4 Kami, 4 Trading Blows, 4 Destined Conclusion Piccolo, 4 Destined Conclusion Hero, and then 2 Feet Kamehameha when we're trying to close the game out with critical. So this deck does a really good job of, in the early turns, doing what you want to do. Was in aggressive matchups, protecting your life total through the effects of Cells Kamehameha and through the effects of Android 18 Bionic Blitz. Combining that with the fact that you get to tax the resources with Rebrand, you're going to be able to keep your opponent's hand size down relatively low a lot of the time. And one of the things that people don't talk about when it comes to playing a hand destruction strategy is that one of the benefits of playing hand destruction is it forces your opponent into a situation where they have to choose between trying to hold on to their counterplay cards to play against you or choosing to hold on to their threats. And it really creates that unique dynamic where since there's so much tension on the opponent's hand, it's really hard for them to always have the answer to what you're trying to play. And that's one of the things about hand destruction is, playing it as a proactive or reactive strategy. When you're reactive, it's always really nice to be able to capitalize on the things that your opponent's doing. But when you have to be the proactive strategy, you're going to start using hand destruction as a way to just help get rid of your opponent's answers, because that ultimately is how you're going to be able to overcome the more controlling decks. The more answers you can rid of them, the more combo into play cards you can rid of, the more deadly vanguards, things like that you can rid of, the better off you're going to be in resolving your win conditions to help close the game. So, and then also think about your exchanges. Think about your 1-for-1s, your 2-for-1s, and then making sure you're not getting X for 1. You want to make sure that you're the person that's getting that additional value, or you're getting a 1-for-1 exchange at the very least. Because that's how hand destruction strategies tend to lose, is when their X for 1s get swapped, and now they're the person that's losing a card and the opponent's picking up value. So you want to make sure that you're reducing the amount of value your opponent's picking up throughout the course of the game. And that's what makes a deck like this kind of cool, is because since you have Announcer Play-by-Play Pro, you have the ability to start picking up and accruing that card advantage while you're taxing the opponent's resources. So you then get to kind of help play this longer game, since you're going to have more resources at your disposal. Also, just with Cell's Kamehameha and Android 18, they're just great ways to be able to defend large attacks and keep your opponent's resources in check, so you can stop them from drawing these additional cards and making sure they can get an advantage out of it. Cocoons is also a great card because it's a 2-for-1. It punishes your opponent whenever they're trying to, let's say they have a board and they want to attack with their leader. Well, you can Cocoons to the leader swing, negate the attack, and then KO their battle card they plan on swinging with. So you again are picking up that 2-for-1 for yourself. So again, your whole entire priority is just creating these 2-for-1 scenarios for yourself, and that's how you close out the game. But I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Filthy Casual. We're going to be posting another more competitive deck tomorrow, and then of course we're going to be trying to stream tonight. Have confirmations from a bunch of group members that we should be able to do some testing. So anyways, thank you guys so much for subscribing. Okay, thanks. Bye!